Let me hit you with a brutal truth. Words are cheap. You can talk all day, send paragraphs, make promises, but none of it matters if your presence says nothing. Real attraction, deep, primal, subconscious attraction, is not built on pickup lines. It's built on energy, intent, and silent authority. Women are hardwired to sense it. They don't fall for the man who talks the most. They fall for the man who commands the room without needing to speak. This isn't about being cold, fake, or manipulative. This is about understanding power, presence, and psychology, the way Machiavelli would teach it if he were alive today. If you want to become a man who naturally pulls attention, respect, and desire without chasing it, you need to embody these 12 unspoken rules. Your eyes are one of the most powerful tools of silent attraction. When you walk into a room, before you say a single word, people notice where your eyes go, how long they linger, and what kind of energy they carry. A man who understands this knows that his gaze can either command respect or reveal insecurity. Most men either avoid eye contact out of nervousness or overdo it and come off as aggressive. The key is balance, eye contact that is calm, steady, and completely unbothered. When you look at someone, especially a woman, with composed and grounded eye contact, you're sending a message that you're confident, present, and not seeking approval. That's powerful. You're not trying to impress. You're not overly reactive. You're simply there, aware and in control. This creates a sense of tension and intrigue. She feels it. She notices it. Because most men look at women with need. You're different. You look at her with curiosity, not desperation. This doesn't mean staring someone down. It means looking with intention. Holding eye contact just long enough to spark interest, then casually breaking it as if you have nothing to prove. The beauty of it is, you're not doing it to get a reaction. You're doing it because you're grounded in who you are. That level of self-possession shows up in your eyes long before it shows up in your words. If your eyes communicate that you're centered, focused, and in control, you don't need to say much at all. People feel your presence, and in dating, that silent energy separates the men who chase from the men who attract. It's not about being loud. It's about making her feel seen, without trying too hard to be noticed. When you speak less and observe more, you create a sense of mystery and authority that words alone can never match. Most men feel the need to talk constantly, to fill every silence, to prove themselves, to impress. But that impulse usually comes from insecurity. A man who is truly confident doesn't need to rush to speak. He's comfortable in stillness, because he knows his presence already speaks volumes. The less you say, the more people lean in. They want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you might say next. That curiosity becomes attraction. Observing more also gives you an edge. When you watch how people move, react, and interact, you pick up on things most men miss. You notice who's posturing, who's uncertain, who's trying too hard. That awareness lets you navigate social dynamics with precision. And when it comes to women, observation reveals far more than conversation. Her body language, tone, and micro-reactions tell you everything you need to know: what she's feeling, what she's hiding, what she wants. When you're silent and observant, you also maintain control. You're not easily thrown off or emotionally pulled in 10 different directions. You don't blurt things out to fill space. You respond with thought, not impulse. That kind of discipline radiates strength. Women feel it. They sense that you're not just another guy reacting to whatever energy they throw at you. You're filtering, watching, and deciding if they even qualify for your attention. In a world where most men talk to prove their value, the man who watches, listens, and speaks with purpose becomes unforgettable. Silence, when used with presence, becomes a powerful statement. It says, "I don't need to prove anything. I already know who I am." That's the kind of energy that captivates without effort. Posture is one of the most overlooked yet powerful forms of nonverbal communication. The way you carry yourself tells the world everything it needs to know about your confidence, self-respect, and inner state, without a single word being spoken. A man who stands tall with his shoulders back, chest open, and head held high, doesn't need to explain himself. His body says, I belong here. I trust myself. That kind of presence can shift how others perceive you instantly. On the flip side, poor posture, slouched shoulders, looking down, restless movement, screams insecurity, even if your words are polished. People feel energy before they hear. Your message and posture is the first thing they notice. You could be dressed well, speaking intelligently, but if your posture doesn't match your message, the power is lost. A strong posture sends a signal of calm control. It shows that you're comfortable in your skin and not trying to shrink or disappear from the room. When it comes to women, this is especially critical. Women are instinctively drawn to signs of leadership and strength. Posture that reflects self-assurance tells her you're not just physically grounded, but emotionally steady too. You're not easily swayed by external forces. You're rooted in who you are. This doesn't mean puffing your chest out or walking around like you're trying to prove something. It means being naturally upright, relaxed, and still. Your movements should be efficient and intentional. You don't fidget, you don't over-gesture. You let your body speak in a way that says, I'm in control of myself and my environment. Mastering posture isn't about arrogance, it's about presence. And presence, when delivered through the way you stand and move, is often the first trigger of attraction. It's quiet power, and it speaks louder than any words ever could. The way you dress communicates who you are before you ever say a word. It sends a signal about your self-respect, attention to detail, and how seriously you take yourself. You don't need designer brands or flashy pieces to stand out. In fact, overdoing it can often look like you're trying too hard. What matters most is how well your style fits your frame, your personality, and the image you want to project. Subtlety, sharpness, and cleanliness win every time. A man who dresses with intention signals that he values himself. He doesn't throw on the first thing he finds. He makes conscious choices about what he wears because he understands the power of perception. People, including women, judge based on what they see, and those first impressions are hard to shake. When you show up looking put together, even if it's a simple outfit, you send the message that you take pride in your presence. That message is attractive because it reflects discipline, awareness, and standards. It's not about impressing others. It's about aligning your outer appearance with your inner confidence. If you feel sharp in what you wear, you carry yourself differently. Your movements become more intentional, your posture more upright, your energy more grounded. And that shift is felt by everyone around you. Women especially notice these details, not necessarily the brands or price tags, but the effort, the clean shoes, the tailored fit, the coordination, the grooming. Those quiet decisions reveal more than compliments ever could. Dressing well isn't just about style. It's a form of silent communication. It tells the world that you care about how you show up. And when you carry yourself like a man who matters, people start to treat you that way, without you ever needing to open your mouth. One of the most magnetic traits a man can possess is genuine indifference to approval. It's not about pretending not to care. It's about actually being rooted in your own sense of worth, so much so that outside validation doesn't shake you. When a man doesn't need to be liked, admired, or constantly reassured, he becomes someone others instinctively respect. Why? Because most people walk through life chasing approval. When you don't, you stand out. Women, in particular, are highly sensitive to this. They can feel when a man is trying to win them over, versus when he's simply being himself, unaffected by the outcome. A man who is comfortable in his own skin, who doesn't flinch if someone doesn't like him, radiates a calm authority. It's the energy of someone who doesn't fear rejection because he knows it doesn't define him. That's power. Seeking approval puts you in a lower position. You're placing someone else's opinion above your own, hoping they'll give you permission to feel valuable. But when you stop doing that, when you set your own standards and live by them regardless of who notices, you flip the dynamic. People start chasing your attention because you're no longer trying to earn theirs. That shift is magnetic. This isn't arrogance, it's inner security. It means you know what you bring to the table and you're okay walking away from anything, or anyone, that doesn't recognize it. Ironically, when you no longer seek approval, you often get more of it. Not because you asked for it, but because people admire those who don't need to be admired. And when it comes to attraction, that's a game changer. Women don't stay for the man who tries too hard. They stay for the man who doesn't need them to. Silence is a weapon most men never learn to use. In a world where people rush to fill every pause with chatter, a man who embraces silence stands out. Strategic silence isn't about being shy or withdrawn. It's about power. It's about choosing when to speak and when to let your presence do the talking. When you can sit in silence without discomfort, you show complete control over yourself in the moment. Most men talk to relieve tension. They crack jokes, overshare, or try to win approval with words. But what they don't realize is that their need to talk gives away their position. It shows they're trying to manage how others feel, usually out of fear that silence will make them look weak or awkward. The truth is, the opposite is true. When you hold silence and remain calm, the room adjusts to you. People lean in, they wait, they wonder what you're thinking. That curiosity becomes your leverage. With women, this dynamic is especially powerful. If you're on a date or in conversation and you're comfortable with quiet moments, it unsettles her in a way that makes her more curious, more invested. It creates a subtle tension. Most women are used to men trying to fill every gap in conversation to impress them. But you're different. You don't rush. You're not performing. You're observing, waiting, choosing your words carefully. That kind of silence communicates strength. It says you're not easily moved, that you're confident enough to let the moment breathe. And in that stillness, you often gain more attention and respect than any clever line could ever earn. The man who uses silence with intention doesn't just communicate confidence, he becomes the center of gravity in any room he walks into. Mysteriousness is a magnetic quality that naturally draws people in. When a man doesn't reveal everything about himself too quickly, it creates a sense of intrigue. People become curious. They start wondering what's going on behind the calm exterior. That curiosity builds attraction. In contrast, when you lay out your entire life story, every opinion, every emotion, you remove the tension. There's no chase, no depth left to explore. It's not about playing games. It's about pacing what you reveal. The truth is, most people are drawn to the unknown. They want to figure things out. If you're a man who isn't always broadcasting his thoughts, who chooses what to share and when, you give others a reason to stay engaged. You don't have to fake anything. You just have to keep parts of yourself sacred. Your plans, your goals, your emotional responses, they don't all need to be public. When you protect your inner world, it becomes more valuable. Women especially are sensitive to this energy. They notice the guy who doesn't overshare, who listens more than he speaks, who seems to have layers they can't immediately access. It creates a sense of anticipation. It forces her to invest energy in figuring you out. And the more she's investing, the deeper the interest grows. Being mysterious also signals emotional control. You're not out here trying to be understood by everyone. You're not spilling your thoughts just to get attention or validation. You're centered, you're secure. That silence, that restraint, it builds respect and attraction faster than any amount of trying could. You don't chase attention, you draw it in. Not by noise, but by the quiet question that lingers in her mind. What's going on inside? This guy. That's power most men overlook. The way you move tells people more about you than your words ever could. Movement reveals your level of confidence, discipline, and emotional control. Most men move in a way that reflects what's happening inside. They're jittery, rushed, or overly reactive. But a man who moves slowly, with control and purpose, sends a completely different signal. He communicates that he's grounded, unfazed, and in command of his space. That kind of movement instantly elevates your presence. Fast, erratic movements suggest nervousness or lack of composure. It shows that your mind is scattered and your emotions are running the show. On the other hand, when you take your time, whether it's walking into a room, turning your head, making a gesture, or even reaching for something, it shows patience, power, and confidence. It shows that you're not in a rush to prove anything to anyone. And that nonverbal message has a much deeper effect than people realize. Women especially pick up on this. They notice when a man enters a room with calm energy. His steps are measured, his hands are steady, his eyes move with awareness. There's no frantic motion. He's not trying to dominate attention. He just naturally commands it. That's the beauty of controlled movement. It doesn't beg to be seen, but it's impossible to ignore. When you combine this with self-awareness and purpose, your presence becomes magnetic. You're no longer just existing in space, you're owning it. And when others sense that, especially women, they start to view you differently. You become the kind of man who doesn't just walk through a room, you shift the energy in it. That's the silent confidence of someone who knows who he is, and it's one of the most attractive traits a man can develop without ever saying a word. Eye contact is one of the most powerful and primal tools of human connection. The way you look at someone says everything about your confidence, your intent, and your emotional strength. Most men either avoid eye contact out of nervousness or overdo it, trying to look dominant. Both extremes miss the point. True, magnetic eye contact is calm, steady, and grounded. It comes from inner security, not performance. When you hold eye contact without flinching or looking away too quickly, it shows that you're not afraid to be seen. You're not hiding anything, and you're not seeking approval. You're simply present, fully engaged in the moment. That kind of energy is rare, and it grabs attention instantly. It makes people, especially women, feel your presence. Not in a forceful or creepy way, but in a way that says you are sure of yourself, and you don't need to escape the tension that comes with connection. The eyes are often described as windows to the soul for a reason. Women are highly tuned into what your eyes are saying. If you avoid their gaze, it signals insecurity. If you stare too intensely, it signals neediness or a lack of social calibration. But when you maintain a soft, confident gaze, it creates attraction. It shows you're unfazed, comfortable, and fully in control of your emotions. Proper eye contact also builds trust. It shows you're not distracted, not playing games, and not hiding from discomfort. You're real, present, and unshaken. That builds not just attraction, but respect. And when you can look someone in the eye with calm certainty, whether you're silent or speaking, you automatically elevate your presence. Without uttering a word, you show strength. And that kind of silent confidence is unforgettable. Your facial expressions are a silent language that reveals your true emotions, whether you want them to or not. Most people underestimate how much women pick up on subtle changes in your face. Micro-expressions, the way your lips move, how your eyebrows shift. These small details communicate far more than your words ever could. A man who masters controlling his facial expressions gains a massive advantage because he can project calm, confidence, and emotional strength without saying a thing. When you keep your face relaxed and composed, it sends a clear message that you are in control of your emotions. You're not easily rattled or overwhelmed. Even if you feel nervous or uncertain inside, your neutral or subtly confident expression can mask that and keep you grounded. Women notice this. They can tell when a man's face reflects tension or anxiety, and it often pushes them away. But a calm, steady expression invites curiosity and trust. Moreover, mastering your facial expressions allows you to avoid giving away too much too soon. If you show too much excitement or vulnerability early on, it can weaken your position and make you seem needy. Instead, a subtle smile, a calm gaze, or a slight smirk can communicate confidence and playfulness. This balance keeps interactions interesting and dynamic. Learning to read and control your facial expressions is about more than just appearing attractive. It's about emotional discipline. When you can regulate what your face reveals, you control the energy you bring into any interaction. You don't react impulsively. You respond deliberately. This level of control makes you appear mature, strong, and trustworthy, all qualities that naturally draw women in. In essence, your face is one of your most powerful tools in silent attraction. When used with intention, it speaks volumes, often louder than words ever could. Master this, and you'll command attention and respect simply by how you show up. A genuine smile is one of the most powerful nonverbal signals you can give. It conveys warmth, confidence, and approachability, all qualities that instantly make you more attractive. But it's important that your smile is authentic, not forced or fake. Women can sense the difference immediately. A genuine smile lights up your entire face, especially your eyes, and sends a message that you're comfortable and confident in your own skin. Smiling isn't just about looking friendly. It's about creating a connection without saying a word. When you smile naturally, it breaks down barriers and makes others feel at ease around you. This comfort is key in attraction because people are drawn to those who make them feel safe and accepted. A man who can express positivity and ease through a simple smile stands out in a sea of nervous or overly serious guys. Moreover, smiling demonstrates emotional strength. It shows that you're not weighed down by fear or insecurity. You're able to relax and enjoy the moment, no matter the circumstances. That kind of emotional resilience is magnetic. It suggests that you don't take yourself too seriously and that you have a positive outlook on life, qualities that women find highly attractive. It's also important to remember that smiling can be used strategically. A well-timed smile can diffuse tension, show interest, or signal confidence. It's a subtle way to communicate that you're engaged and present without overwhelming the interaction. Ultimately, your smile is a powerful tool of silent communication. It's a simple, natural way to project confidence and warmth. When your smile is genuine, it doesn't just attract women. It invites meaningful connection. Mastering this small, often overlooked gesture can change the way people respond to you and dramatically increase your magnetic presence. The final piece of silent attraction is how you handle your energy and presence in a room. It's not just about what you say or do, it's about the vibe you give off without trying. This natural energy draws people in because it signals that you're comfortable, confident, and in control of yourself. When you're grounded in your own energy, others can't help but notice and be drawn toward it. Many men overlook the importance of managing their energy. They either come across as too intense or too passive, both of which push people away. The ideal is a balanced energy, calm but powerful, approachable yet commanding respect. This balance makes you magnetic without effort. You don't need to force attention or talk loudly to be the center of it. Your presence alone does the work. Women, in particular, are sensitive to this energy because they pick up on emotional cues and vibrations naturally. If your energy is scattered or anxious, it creates discomfort. But if it's steady and positive, it invites connection. You become someone people want to be around, someone who makes others feel safe and valued just by being present. This kind of energy control comes from self-awareness and emotional discipline. It means knowing how you affect the space around you and intentionally choosing how to show up. When you're fully present and centered, you don't react impulsively or get swept away by emotions. Instead, you respond thoughtfully, which creates a powerful magnetic aura. In essence, mastering your energy is about being fully yourself without apology.
It's about owning your space quietly, but undeniably. When you do this, you communicate strength and confidence without saying a word. That kind of presence is irresistible and will naturally attract women who are drawn to genuine, grounded
men. You don't need to talk your way into attraction. You need to become a man who speaks through presence, silence, and standards. When you master these unspoken Machiavellian rules, you flip the script. She leans in. She watches. She chases. You don't pull her with words. You pull her with gravity. That's how power works. That's how attraction really works.